story opens inside a modest apartment complex, where a young boy named Aiden is fast asleep. At first, everything feels calm and ordinary, like any normal morning, but suddenly, a strange and horrifying noise snaps him awake. His heart starts racing as panic sets in. He has no idea where the sound came from. Slowly, gets out of bed and cautiously cracks open his door, fear written all over his face. He looks down the hallway, but it's completely deserted. Uneasy and confused, Aiden turns on the TV, only to find that no channels are airing anything at all. Moments later, an emergency alert suddenly blasts through the silence, warning everyone to stay inside and not step outdoors under any circumstances. Aiden freezes, shocked and terrified. Before he can even process what's happening, he hears piercing screams coming from outside. He rushes to the balcony, and what he sees below makes his blood run cold. People are running in all directions, screaming in absolute panic. The streets are in chaos, buildings damaged, and everything looks like it's falling apart. Even worse, people are brutally attacking each other, biting and tearing into one another like wild animals. Then, without warning, a helicopter spirals out of control and crashes into a nearby building. The explosion is massive, shaking the entire area and leaving Aiden completely stunned. As he looks back down at the street, his eyes land on a small girl standing among the crowd. For a brief moment, he thinks she might be lost or scared. But in the next instant, that hope vanishes. The girl suddenly lunges at a man nearby, viciously biting him and attacking without mercy. Witnessing all of this, Aiden is completely shaken. He quickly realizes that the people outside are no longer human. They've turned into zombies. Panic takes over. He rushes back inside the apartment and quickly locks the balcony door. He knows the virus is spreading at an alarming speed, and the thought of becoming infected himself terrifies him. His breathing becomes heavy as fear overwhelms him, and he struggles to calm down, just as he starts to steady himself. A loud knock suddenly echoes from his front door. Frozen with fear, Aiden slowly approaches and finds his neighbor standing there. Despite his fear, Aiden opens the door out of kindness after the man insists that he hasn't been infected. The neighbor explains that his friend suddenly attacked him, but he somehow managed to escape. As Aiden listens, something catches his attention, a bite mark on the man's neck. In that moment, Aiden realizes the horrifying truth. His neighbor's about to turn. While Aiden hesitates, unsure of what to do, the man's eyes begin to turn completely white. Realizing his life is in danger, Aiden quickly grabs a knife. Moments later, the man steps out of the bathroom, and the virus fully takes hold. His eyes are now white, his body twisting unnaturally as blood starts to drip from his mouth. Right before Adan's eyes, the man transforms into a zombie. Aiden shouts for him to get out of the house, but it's too late. The creature slowly advances toward him. Desperate to survive, Aiden reaches for anything he can use to defend himself. In a split second, Aiden swings at him with all his strength, knocking the man backward and forcing him out the door. He slams it shut immediately. Through the small opening in the door, Don watches in horror as his neighbor collapses outside, only to be instantly swarmed by zombies. They tear into him mercilessly, like hungry predators, his hands shaking uncontrollably. Aiden locks the door and drags heavy furniture in front of it to block any entry. Fear washes over him as the reality sinks in. He is completely alone in his apartment. When he checks his phone, he finds a message from his parents. They tell him the city is being destroyed, all roads are sealed off, and they can't reach him. Their final words urge him to stay inside and do whatever it takes to survive, as evening turns into night. Loneliness, fear, and tension slowly consume him. To keep his mind from breaking, Aiden writes motivational messages and sticks them all around the apartment. He gathers all his remaining food in one place and carefully portions it out, hoping to make it last as long as possible. Days pass, and soon an entire week goes by. Every day, he records video diaries on his laptop, just to feel like he's talking to someone. He tries calling his parents again and again, but there's never any answer. Eventually, the water supply completely runs out. The taps go dry, and not a single drop flows anymore. Soon after, even food becomes dangerously scarce. Aiden starts to feel like the last human left in the city. Then one day, while sitting at his computer, he suddenly hears a strange noise coming from the ceiling above him, sensing danger. Aiden steels himself, preparing for the worst. Without warning, the vent above him bursts open, and a zombie woman crashes through, launching a sudden attack. Aiden stumbles back in terror, desperately trying to escape, but the creature keeps coming. He dodges her movements, steps back, and strikes her head with whatever he can grab. After several frantic moments, she finally goes still. Aiden survives, but just barely. For the first time, he has killed another human being, and the shock of it hits him hard. The experience is deeply traumatic. Panicking, he shoves the body aside and quickly seals the broken vent using a surfboard, taping it tightly to make sure nothing else can get through. As the days go on, survival only becomes harder. Each passing day weighs heavier on his mind, pushing him deeper into depression. Then one day his phone suddenly rings. It's a voicemail from his mother. A surge of hope fills his heart. After so long, she's finally reached him. He listens carefully as she speaks, saying that zombies have reached their area and that she doesn't know if they'll ever see each other again. But as the message continues, Aiden hears something unsettling in the background. The noise doesn't sound human at all. It becomes horrifyingly clear that zombies have found his parents. Moments later, their screams echo through the voicemail, and then the call abruptly cuts off. This is the most devastating moment Aiden has faced. After waiting days for a sign from them, the message he receives is confirmation of their deaths. Completely broken, Aiden drops to the floor, overwhelmed by grief. Aiden has completely lost his will to survive. His family is gone, and with them, all hope. Overwhelmed by grief and despair, he decides to end his life. He turns on the camera and stares at his reflection, his face empty, exhausted, and lifeless. He starts recording and says that he tried his best, but he has no courage left. The water is gone, food is nearly finished, the electricity has stopped, and he believes it's better to end everything now rather than slowly die from hunger and thirst. After stopping the recording, Aiden makes a noose from a rope and steps onto a chair. Just as he's about to take his life, his gaze suddenly shifts to the window across from his apartment. There, in the opposite building, he sees a girl. She's alive, a real human being, not a zombie. The moment he realizes this, something inside him changes. It feels as if life has been given back to him. Without thinking, Aiden gives up and climbs down in a panic. In his rush, the rope tightens around his neck and he nearly chokes. Coughing violently, he stumbles toward the window. The girl notices him, but at first, she believes he's a zombie and quickly pulls her curtain shut. Even so, Aiden doesn't lose hope. He stays by the window all night, waiting. The next day, the girl appears again. Aiden quickly writes hi on a piece of paper and holds it up. The girl realizes he isn't a zombie after all. She feels the same surge of hope and excitement, and she writes hi back to him. In that moment, after 42 days of loneliness and fear, they both smile. One day, the two of them begin communicating by writing messages back and forth. The girl introduces herself as Eva. She asks Aiden if he has any food left. Aiden admits that he doesn't have food anymore, but he still has some water. A few days later, heavy rain pours down from the sky. Aiden is filled with joy as he realizes he finally has water again. He quickly places containers on the balcony to collect as much rainwater as possible. For the first time in weeks, he's even able to bathe. Knowing that Eva has no water, Aiden becomes determined to help her. But since he can't leave his apartment, he starts thinking of another way. After some time, he comes up with a plan. He ties together pieces of clothing to make a long rope, rolls it into a ball, and throws it toward Eva's building. When Eva catches it, Aiden uses the rope to send bottles of water across to her. Unfortunately, as one of the bottles hits the railing, it makes a loud noise that echoes through the area, instantly drawing the attention of nearby zombies. Seeing the rope hanging between the buildings, the zombies begin climbing upward. Aiden watches in horror as they start making their way toward Eva to protect her. Aiden quickly throws a bottle in another direction to distract them, and it works. The zombies shift their focus toward him instead. One of them starts climbing straight toward Aiden. Preparing himself, Aiden grabs a baseball bat. As the zombie reaches him, Aiden swings with all his strength, smashing it in the head and killing it. They manage to survive the attack, but the danger isn't over. There's still a major problem left: they're starving. Aiden knows that if he doesn't find food soon, he won't survive much longer. Aiden knows that if he's willing to take a risk and search for food, there's still a chance he can survive. Holding on to that thought, he finally steps outside his apartment after 45 long days. He carefully scans his surroundings and at first sees no zombies anywhere. As he moves forward, he comes across his neighbor's lifeless body. Acting quickly, he searches the pockets, hoping to find keys so he can get inside the apartment and take any remaining food. But before he can act, a large group of zombies suddenly appears. Aiden realizes there's no time left. He can't make it back to his own apartment. Thinking fast, he drops to the ground beside the corpse, pulls another dead body over himself, and pretends to be dead. The overwhelming stench of the rotting bodies fools the zombies into believing Aiden is already dead. They lose interest and slowly move on, unknowingly sparing his life. Once the area is clear, Aiden carefully gets up and enters his neighbor's apartment. Inside, he notices a body lying on the bed. Without checking whether it's truly dead, he heads straight to the kitchen. What he finds there fills him with unbelievable joy. The place is stocked with food, canned supplies, and bottles of water everywhere. To Aiden, it feels like discovering a hidden treasure. He immediately starts gathering as much food as he can. But suddenly, something lunges at him from the darkness. The body he saw earlier wasn't dead, it's a zombie. Acting on instinct, Aiden smashes a lamp over its head. However, the creature doesn't go down that easily. It attacks again, and Aiden barely manages to dodge out of the way. This time, Aiden understands one thing clearly. He has no choice. He must kill the zombie at all costs, or he won't survive. If he doesn't act fast, he knows he could get infected. With no other option, Aiden grabs an ice pick and drives it into the zombie with all his strength, finally killing it. Exhausted but alive, he gathers the supplies and makes his way back to his apartment. Once inside, reality hits him again. The zombie attacked him. Panic sets in as he checks his body for injuries or bite marks. After carefully examining himself and finding nothing, he cleans himself up, relieved. While sorting through the supplies, he discovers something unexpected: 2 walkie-talkies. Strangely, this excites him more than the food. After weeks of isolation, the thought of hearing another human voice means everything to him. Without hesitation, Aiden drops what he's doing and sends one of the walkie-talkies to Eva, using the rope line between the buildings. That night, they talk for the first time. For both of them, it's the first time in ages they've heard a real human voice. The moment fills them with joy and relief. Feeling responsible for Eva now, Aiden decides he'll continue searching for food, not just for himself, but for her as well, sending it across using the zip line. That day, he comes up with a new idea. Instead of risking the streets, he wonders why he can't move between apartments through the ventilation ducts. Acting on this plan, he enters another apartment and is thrilled to find it filled with food. He immediately tells Eva over the walkie-talkie. She's happy to hear the news, but she warns him, saying he shouldn't have gone there. If a zombie had been inside, they would have heard it. Just as her words sink in, someone suddenly appears behind Aiden. It's an old man. Seeing him, Aiden freezes in shock. Soon, Aiden realizes the old man isn't a zombie. The man calmly asks where Aiden came from and what he's doing there. Aiden explains that he traveled through the ventilation ducts because he needed food. The old man appears kind and welcoming. He invites Aiden to sit, gives him a proper meal, even offers extra supplies for him to take back home. But just as Aiden is about to leave, everything changes. The old man suddenly attacks him from behind. When Aiden regains consciousness, he finds himself tied up in a room, facing a bed. In front of him is a zombie woman straining to reach him, trying to attack. The old man sits nearby, watching silently. Confused and terrified, Aiden asks why he's doing this. The old man answers that the zombie is his wife. He says he loves her too much to kill her, no matter what she has become. He can't abandon her, so he keeps her alive by feeding her humans. Hearing this horrifying truth, Aiden struggles desperately. Managing to free himself, he unties the rope as the old man rushes to stop him. Acting quickly, Aiden grabs the old man and throws him toward the zombie woman. She immediately attacks and devours him, giving Aiden the chance to escape before he can fully get away. Aiden receives a call from Eva. She tells him that zombies have broken into her apartment. There's no time to hesitate. Aiden knows he must save her at any cost. He jumps toward Ava's balcony, but loses his balance and begins to fall. Reacting instantly, Eva throws down the rope they had been using, giving him a chance to hold on. Without wasting a second, Aiden starts climbing up the rope. Suddenly, a zombie grabs onto his leg, threatening to climb up after him. Aiden shouts to Eva as the danger escalates. Instead of climbing higher, he swings toward the apartment below and quickly cuts the rope. He tells Eva to jump down. Eva is terrified, but hearing Aiden encourage her gives her the courage she needs. She jumps to the apartment below, and at last, the two of them meet face to face for the first time. Overwhelmed with relief and happiness, they embrace. But Aiden knows they can't stay there. It's too loud, and the noise will attract more zombies. They need to escape immediately. The two of them run outside, only to come face to face with a massive group of zombies. Fighting through the chaos, they manage to reach Aiden's building. But just as they get there, things go wrong. Eva makes it inside, but Aiden is swarmed by zombies outside, using his baseball bat. Aiden fights back with everything he has. He manages to kill the zombies and finally stumbles into the apartment, completely covered in blood. Overcome with fear and shock, he breaks down in tears and tells Eva to kill him. Convinced that he's been bitten and will soon turn into a zombie, he walks out onto the balcony, pulls off his shirt and prepares to jump. Just before he does, Eva stops him. She looks closely and tells him that he's fine. There are no bite marks on his body. The blood covering him belongs to the zombies, not him. Realizing they're both still alive, they're overwhelmed with joy. Seeing each other safe fills them with relief and hope. Seeing each other alive fills them with joy and renews their hope for life. But before they can truly celebrate their reunion, the familiar sounds of zombies echo outside once again. There's no time to relax. They quickly push a refrigerator in front of the door, blocking the entrance as best they can in that moment. They make a promise to each other that they will survive this nightmare, escape the world overrun by zombies, and live their lives together. Holding on to that hope, they embrace one another. The film comes to an end with their emotional reunion, leaving their future uncertain but finally filled with hope.
And that wraps up today's story. Now we want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments, and let's see how far these stories reach. If this story moved you or gave you chills, give it a like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories. One last thing, rate the story from 1 to 10 in the comments. Your feedback helps us bring you even better ones next time. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you being part of this storytelling journey.